Welcome once again to Critical Thinking and Practical Reasoning. Today we look at human behavior and decision making. Now, you should understand that human conduct and human nature are in diverse ways. So, we're going to look at what we define as moral agent, maxims, value judgment, the highest good. We explain some philosophical conceptions, the arguments between reason and emotion, and we identify the human body parts that engage in rational reasoning and emotional reasoning. Let's look at the nature and conduct of the human person and decision making. One thing you should note that you should consider the fact that our decisions we take daily affect us, right? And here the human person undergoes certain situations where it tries to take complex decisions, and some of these complex decisions surround issues like what is the good for man. Because if you basically ask yourself what is the good thing for man, you may not know. Some people in this morning they may think it's money, but money is never enough. How should I live? What is the right way to live? Should you be the best child to your parents? Should you be the best husband? Or what do you have to do? What is the good life? What is that life that you have that is good? Or which life do you aspire to achieve in life that you think when you have that life that is good life? Now, we should understand that these decisions we take are being motivated by certain things that or certain beliefs and conceptions that we have. Now we have rules as motive. Now understand that we are going to discuss rules as motives, and rule here, which is either stated as a what a form of duty, rule, or principle, right? So these three things, duty, rule, or principle, come in to guide people, right, in decision making. So then if you want to take a decision, then there's this rule or principle that is motivating you to take this decision. And we say people who believe in such ideologies are called deontologists or formalists. Now deon is from the word duty, so they act based on duty. Right, this kind of ideology is considered to be backward looking, because if you in moving on in life, everything that you do, you have to look at what the principle says or what the law say. Then you'll be looking back every time to check what's the right way to act or what to do at any point in time. Now philosophers who engage in this kind of beliefs are Immanuel Kant, Pritchard, and W. D. Ross. See an example here. It says attending lectures not for the interest of gaining knowledge, but because it is required of a student. Then you're actually engaging in a rule as motive. The university rules requires you to attend lectures, and that's the main reason you attend lectures. The second one says, "Thou shalt not kill," and this is an assertion we know from the Bible, which will actually compel us to not to kill in any situation. So this one guides our decision making. On the other hand, apart from rules as motives, we have consequence as motives. Now, consequence as motives, there is an expected result of any action. When anybody engages in any action, there's an expected result. When you make that expected result be a motivation for you to act, then you are using a consequence as a motive. Now people who believe in such ideologies are considered as what, teleologists or consequentialists. Then teleos is a Latin word which means end, right? So they believe in the end. And that's why this perspective is forward looking. They try to see into the future. Like, if I do this for now, where will it end me at? Some philosophers who believe in such are John Stuart Mill, Jeremy Bentham, and George Edward. Just as we said, it's forward looking. Look at these examples. Studying hard so you will be successful in life. So your main aim is to be successful in life, so you study hard so you could be successful in life. Also preparing very well so that you can make the scholarship list. Yes, everybody will put in that effort just to make the scholarship list, and this is a consequence as motive, that you are trying to reach a certain end result, right? And this motivates our actions daily. Let's look at conceptual clarifications in practical reasoning. So here we are looking at these four terminologies, and these define the human person in several dimensions. Let's look at the maxim. What is a maxim? This is a personal principle or rule that an individual uses in decision making. For instance, I've stated that I will never eat past 8 p.m. and that's a personal principle I've said myself. I've stated that I will not go to the bar unless I'm invited by a friend, and that's a personal principle. All right. What is value judgment? Value judgment, this is a subjective evaluation of a person, object, or concept or situation, right? So if you are evaluating object, concept, or situation, then you are making a value judgment on an instance or a situation. Understand that people make judgments every day, whether something is good or bad. The value is their view which they attach in the judgment that they make. That subjective part which they feel this shouldn't be this way, it should have been the other way. That's the value which is attached to the judgment. What is the highest good? It is sometimes called summum bonum. Not even sometimes, its Latin translation is summum bonum, and which states the highest good. It is the evaluation, it is the ultimate concept of goodness, right? To which all our actions are aimed towards. So within the year, you have a main aim to achieve something. Every action you do within that year is aimed towards achieving that particular goal you set for yourself. So that particular goal becomes the highest good. You understand me? Yeah. So moral agent, which is the next issue thing there. Who is a moral agent? Now understand it. Understand this, that a moral agent is a person who has the capability to act according to what is right or wrong. So this person, this we'll call a moral agent, is one who understands that this thing is right, this thing is wrong, right? And can follow to do the right thing, or also do not do the wrong thing, right? That's a moral agent. But sometimes we have an immoral agent. Who is an immoral agent? An immoral agent is a person who can also differentiate between the right and wrong thing, but however that's the wrong thing, right? That person is considered what? Immoral. Also we have the amoral agent, right? And now the amoral agent is the person who does not have the capability to differentiate between the good and the bad. So we can consider um babies and even madmen as what? Amoral agents. Now let's consider humans as rational beings. And this is a major discussion under the human nature, because we also come to discuss humans as emotional beings also. Now, it is believed that the human nature has two basic parts. It has reasoning, uh, and has a part of the will. It is believed that that part which is reasoning is a part which is more. It's a major feature we've taken from what? God. And the part which is of emotions and of the will is also a major part which we share with what? Animals. Animals are believed to be sensual beings here, right? Now look at humans as rational beings. So we in humans as rational beings, we consider the fact that reason, which is the power of thinking, plays a major role in our decision making, right? And we have actually identified some three distinctions through which reason plays a major role. Let's look at epistemic rationality. Now, the goal of this is to reach truth and avoid falsity. So, in several ways, you make attempts to decipher information just to find the truth in every case. And we do that to avoid falsity. In your attempt to do that, your reasoning pattern is making an epistemic rationality, right? We also engage in strategic rationality when we concern applying reason to certain goals, desires, and choices. That is strategic rationality. Practical rationality comes in when the individual's actions tries to answer questions such as what should I do and what is the good life. Now, when reason is applied in all of these means, then we can say that reasoning takes a major part in our decision making in our lives. Now, let's look at humans as emotional beings. Humans are considered as emotional beings when we think that there is a emotional part of it that also contributes to what decision making. Let's look at the case of Phineas Gage here. Phineas Gage was an American construction worker who had severe injuries when blasting a rock in 1848. The rock blasting resulted in an iron pole penetrating through his head. Surprisingly, however, he survived. However, his behavior totally changed. Before the accident, He was considered as caring, hardworking, diligent, and very patient. After the surgery that saved his life, he became an unreliable person, always forgetting things, and impatient, and also incapable of following others. You could see that a major change in his physical state really affected his emotions, and affecting his emotions has affected decision making. Now you can see that reasoning doesn't play any major role here. There's a major change that has even affected his reasoning too, right? So humans are not just rational beings, humans are also emotional beings as well. Okay, so thank you very much for paying attention in this session. This session has given us a good background to understand the human nature and certain motivations for our everyday actions. The session further examined the human nature as both emotional and rational beings. Thank you very much. We catch each other next time.